Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Crystal Domain. Today we're going to be talking about the Battle Box and what that's all about. But before that, we've had so many new members join the Domain Discord over the last few days, and if you'd like to be a part of that, there will be a link down in the description below for you to join the Domain Format Discord, where you'll be able to find deck lists, all the different people that are asking the questions that you might have about rules, about the format itself, about staples, about what decks are good, about whether your deck can function, the one you want to play, will function in the format, and essentially anything and everything about the format is going down in that Discord. We reached over 1,800 members. Between 2 days, we had like 1,000 people join, and then, not 1,000, 100, sorry, that's like ridiculous. And then, even then, we're still climbing, and it's growing rapidly, and we would love for you to be a part of it. Now, if you would like to support this channel, all you gotta do is, of course, continue to provide me your time. Your time watching these videos is more important than anything else. If you want to contribute more to supporting the channel, you can, of course, subscribe and hit the bell that way you are notified of every single video that comes out on this channel. You can also hit the like button and comment your thoughts about this video and anything else you'd like to see on the channel down below. We're nearing 500 subscribers, which is awesome, and if you want to help make that happen, of course, just hit the subscribe button. Now, moving on to the main topic at hand, the Battle Box. So the Battle Box is something I constructed a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month or two ago. And with the surging number of people joining this server, I felt like it was about time to actually make a video talking about this Battle Box and what it is. A Battle Box is inspired by Commander, Magic the Gathering's Commander format, where there are people that will take, let's say, the 4 pre-constructed precons of a Commander set, and they'll keep them intact together. That way, that isolated situation of those 4 decks is, specific to that table. And you'll bring it, and each one of your friends will play one of the selected 4, 5 decks, whatever, and you'll encounter a very specific environment of play. It's procured to be different than just the standard everybody brings their own thing. This is similar to a cube, which, of course, cubes exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, and maybe even battle boxes exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, but it's more of a term I found common in Magic the Gathering's Commander format. So I felt like having one that is designed towards older card design would be a good way to invite your friends into the format, which I recently had a comment come up on my win version of the deck, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but mainly the idea is that these decks are going to be getting attention because they are on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro as domain format lists. So it's important to talk about what these are. This is a procured style of play, situated between the GX eras and the DM eras of Yu-Gi-Oh! And nothing beyond, with the idea being a older style GOAT format-esque style of play that is much easier to invite your friends into versus, throwing random things that you might enjoy at your friends, versus if they're more accustomed to older Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is also a much easier way to invite your friends in, especially if you are alone at your LGS trying to introduce them to domain format. This is a good segue to easily nostalgia bait people, essentially. And for those that are more interested overall in older play, you could be in the format Discord right now, interested in a older style of play, and these might be for you. Each of these decks are procured with a set number of the same cards. They all feature similar power spells and power traps, with some of them having different spells and traps to align with the gimmick of the deck. And each of them have a specific style of deckmaster, being the Apocalypse versions of the Charmers, which are 800 attack, 1500 defense, 4-star spellcasters of their specific attributes, being Fire, Earth, water, and wind to procure a specific style of play for each one. All of them focused around summoning monsters, and of course to engage in the battle phase and overpower the opponent with stat boosts and maybe even stat reductions on certain opponents at the table, with fire and water often hating each other and causing debuffs to the other, where maybe even water and wind having certain interactions with each other as well. And of course, certain power plays to stun the opponent from not being able to respond as easy. Each deck featuring a barrier statue to prevent special summoning except for their type. This is older style play, and special summoning can be quite powerful if it does happen. These barrier statues can protect you from powerful plays while you're trying to catch up if you are behind. But also, each of these decks have means of removal and theft and protection for your board state. Now, each one also has specific monsters that are designed to, be a recruiter, to be a special monster to summon that will help build your board state, and each one will have powerful boss monsters to end your board onto. Each of them featuring a monarch, and in this case, each of them featuring powerful monsters of the era. Monarchs, Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, Horus the Black Flame Dragon, Lava Golem to control the opponent's board, and if you pull it off, Infernal Flame Emperor can also be powerful in this format that is isolated to be a slower, more dedicated style of play to old Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, for this deck, the Fire version, the Hita deck, this one is more dedicated to beating the opponent down and burning them with a sub-strategy of stall, with burn in mind, with powerful cards to do that, including Chain Energy, Dark Snake Syndrome, Wave Motion Cannon, the various different monsters that burn in here, Infernal Flame Emperor, Blast Magician. You get the point. This is essentially a fire deck with a burn strategy in mind. The second one is the Area deck. This is a water, mostly fish, sea creature deck that is all about level modulation to bring out powerful monsters. This reduces the cost of their tributes, where cards like Giga become a 4-star and is a 2450 that does not require a tribute. And then even further, Go Giga becomes a 7-star, which makes it even easier to tribute summon. And just in general, powerful 4-star and lower monsters, where water is mostly famous for these kind of things. And the Easter egg that the Gigabyte line is the summon, the familiar of Area, the water charmer. So of course keeping them in makes sense. And then with Hita, her monster is Foxfire. So if doable, I added their respective familiar monsters or something similar to them. This deck also features powerful boss monsters, such as the Daedalus monsters, Ice Master, Coelacanth, Fog King, each of the monarchs, of course, and various other means of controlling the opponent, to mitigate hand, to mitigate monsters on field, and to prevent attacking. That way, your lower level monsters can beat over them, while their higher level monsters cannot even attack. The Earth variant of the deck is helmed by Ossa and her many dinosaurs. I predominantly went after the idea of this deck using dinosaurs to beat over the opponent and to set up a powerful and meaningful Tyranno Infinity to close out the game, with other Floodgate-style cards to prevent the opponent from doing certain things, to help you stay in the game if you are behind, with King Tiger Wanghu, and various other means of play. Earthquake is a funny one, because it just fits thematically, like with the idea that these are all Earth monsters, and more of a flavor card. Each deck does have some style of flavor to them, with each of these, with this deck having the dinosaur cards, the evolution pills, the tail swipes, the Jurassic World field spell, and I believe each of them also comes with a field spell of some kind. Yes, Molten Destruction, Legendary Ocean, Jurassic World, Gaia Power, and for the Wind deck, the Harpy's Hunting Ground. Now, this deck is also just built over... this one's just designed to beat over the opponent. Powerful boss monsters, Ultimate Tyranno, Super Ancient Dino Beast, Behemoth the King of All Animals, Black Tyranno, Tyranno Infinity, Raging Earth, Dark Triceratops, and of course the Rock Monarch for the end game big guys to beat over the opponent with. And lastly, we have Battlebox Wind. This is a wind deck that is breaking a rule, and we will cover that in a moment. This is a mostly winged beast deck that is designed to control the opponent and also to buff the board and control their back row and disable them from using said back row, and then beat over them with powerful birds. Now, the biggest thing with this one, specifically, is that it is breaking a domain format rule, and that Harpy Lady 1, 2, and 3 are in this deck, which was the comment posted down below by Oswin. They said, "Hello, I really liked your 4 Battlebox decks, and I plan to use them as an introduction to the format for my group of friends," which is exactly what this is intended to do. However, it seems to me that this one is invalid, as Harpy Lady 1, 2, and 3 are always treated as Harpy Lady, making them duplicates. I did respond to them, which didn't load on this page for some reason, but if you are watching this video, Oswin, the idea is that there is a Rule 0 style of conversation to be done at the table, and as long as your friends that you're playing with are okay with it, this one is breaking a rule so that Harpy can actually function and represent the wind deck properly, showing off the power of the winged beast monsters when they're all able to be together. So, with that in mind, this is commonly done in the domain format Discord, where Harpy Ladies are kind of like allowed to do their thing. That way you can show off this anime archetype appropriately. And that pretty much covers it. These decks are all designed to, do powerful things against each other and control well against each other, and certain, niche situations that come up with these attribute-based battles going on. And the idea is to just enjoy a older style of Yu-Gi-Oh! That way, we had a guy come in the Discord earlier yesterday that didn't know what link summoning is. And that is very common. You're going to have players that are going to see this wider attention grow for this format, and they might not know certain summoning mechanics, as I didn't know what link summoning was when I got back into the game a couple years ago. And of course we can learn. Everybody can learn these new mechanics, but it doesn't mean they want to use them. And so this battle box is perfect for the people that just want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In a more pure state, in a more older, very specifically procured environment. And on top of that, each of these decks are easily affordable. You will notice that each of these decks are about $35, according to TCG Player, or if you are in the EU, £15, I believe. With, the Earth one being 37, the Water deck being 48, a little bit higher, and the Fire deck being 38. These are all about $30, $35 to $40. And, especially if your LGS just keeps these old cards lying around, you might even get them cheaper. So the idea is for these to be easily affordable and kept together to battle with your friends, to introduce them to a format that after they're more comfortable, try to get them to build something that they're more into and keep them playing this game. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope that this is helpful for new people that maybe are trying to find a way to introduce their friends to this format, or even for people in the Discord that want to just play older Yu-Gi-Oh! Go ahead. These deck lists will be posted down below. I will post my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro profile, where I keep all my domain format deck lists. You will find all 4 of these Battlebox decks on there as the last decks I built, and hopefully you have fun. That's the most important thing. Have fun and love the format. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.